Sometimes we find that the equation of a circle is not presented in standard form, but rather is presented in general form where all of the terms are multiplied out and collected on one side of the equation. If we have an equation, such as the one in front of us, x squared plus y squared minus 18x plus 12y minus 4 equals 0, we're told it's a circle, and we want to find the center and the radius of this circle, well, what should we do in order to recapture the form that was easier for us to use in observing the center and the radius, which is the standard form? Well, there's something that many of us know from our algebra courses called completing the square that can help us, get where we need to go. So the tactic is generally put your x terms together, put your y terms together, move any constants to the right hand side because the radius squared is going to end up over there anyway, and make sure you're leading with your square terms. Now you need the coefficients on the square terms to be 1, and in this case they are. To be a circle they would be the same regardless. And if they were not 1, you would just simply divide both sides of the equation by that coefficient and force them to be 1. Now the actual process of completing the square I will describe, but what I want you to think about is that we're completing the square separately on the x terms and the y terms, and whatever we do to each side, or excuse me, whatever we do to one side, we must do to both sides. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing on each side. All right, the technique for completing the square is this. Take half the middle coefficient, and it actually won't matter if you use the negative or not, because what we're going to do with this number is square it. And then whatever you add to one side, you add to the other. All right, here, half of 12 is 6. And then what goes here is its square. Okay. Now thinking about the FOIL method and whatnot in reverse, we can see that we have x squared minus 18x plus 81 plus y squared plus 12y plus 36 equals 121. Factoring x squared minus 18x plus 81 leads us to x minus 9 quantity squared. Factoring y squared plus 12y plus 36 leads us to y plus 6 quantity squared. And we can see that our center is the ordered pair 9, negative 6, using our standard form as a pattern, and our radius is the square root of 121, or 11. And now one little tip to you, if you would like. The way these are going to factor is x is going to be in the lead. You're going to keep the middle sign, and it's going to be the number you got when you took half, and then quantity squared. So notice the same pattern here. Middle sign, number you got when you took half, quantity squared. But your factoring skills should lead you to this result regardless.